How can France...
It's a move France calls a moral and political imperative, recognizing Palestine as a state, even as the war in Gaza rages on. Ambassador David Martinon says the decision aims to keep alive the only framework that could deliver peace and lead to an end to this humanitarian crisis.
Given the context with this unbelievable humanitarian disaster in the Gaza Strip, and the continuation of the fightings, that it opens a path for a clearer and reliable, pragmatic political horizon in the region. So that's what it means. If you want to go onto the legal grounds, then it means that we will shift from addressing Palestine as occupied territories and name it as the State of Palestine, which allows the head of states of the State of Palestine to actually sign international agreements, and which will lead all countries who will have now recognized the State of Palestine to kind of upgrade the Palestinian representation in their capitals to embassies of Palestine.
As world leaders gathered in New York for the UN General Assembly, many countries called for an end of the suffering of the people of Palestine. France says the recognition is part of a broader diplomatic push to end decades of conflict.
It creates a momentum, thanks to the joint efforts of, again, Saudi Arabia and France. The starting point for that effort was again the acknowledgement of the fact that the situation couldn't last. And what made it possible is the letter from President Mahmoud Abbas addressed to President Macron, explaining his views and notably his intentions regarding very concrete steps, like one, reforms of the Palestinian state, of the Palestinian Authority, to putting an end to the prisoners' payment system that is, by the way, now officially terminated, has been since August the 1st, and also a commitment to revise the school curricula so that children in the Palestinian state will not be taught hatred towards Israel, so that is an absolute necessity if you want to change the atmosphere in the region.
Some critics have linked France's recognition of Palestine to the collapse of recent ceasefire talks, but Ambassador Martinon rejects that, calling it fake news, saying negotiations had already broken down before Paris had made its announcement.
The breakout of the ceasefire negotiations happened earlier than the recognition, the official vote at the United Nations General Assembly. So this is indeed fake news.
The United States and Israel, meanwhile, have dismissed the recognition of Palestine, blaming France and other European countries for the breakdown of previous ceasefire talks, in turn putting France at odds with both countries. But Ambassador Martinon says Paris is confident it is acting in the interests of peace.
As for the American position, it's a traditional position. You know, America and France have been the oldest allies. We have never been at war with each other. We've been there at the creation, the foundation of the United States. So we are allies. We do often disagree, but we are in touch and we talk. And we talk about these topics. And President Macron and President Trump are talking quite often on this topic and many others. As for the position of Israel, again, you know, Israel is an ally. Relations are sometimes difficult, and they are difficult now. But we are, I mean, again, the decision to recognize Palestine was not conceived as a gesture opposed to Israel. we do consider, and we have been considering, the two-state solution as the solution, the only solution to preserve the security of Israel and to preserve or to deliver on the right to self-determination for the Palestinian people.
Israel has openly threatened countries that recognize Palestine, but the ambassador insists France's recognition is not meant to antagonize Israel, especially as the Franco-Saudi initiative seeks regional normalization with the country.
That the primary goal on the very short term is to put an end to this war. Now, considering Israel's position and a few statements that we heard over the last hours, I don't want to put oil on the fire, but I can just confirm that the government of France has so far received no information from the State of Israel that there would be retaliation.
When speaking on South Africa's genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice on the back of the UN's Commission report, Ambassador Martinon acknowledged South Africa's activism for Palestine as a priority of the country's global agenda. Even if France's approach is different, France values the South African voice on the international stage and reiterated that the primary goal of this entire endeavor is a ceasefire.
If you bring allegations of genocide, we're talking legal terms, and so it has to revolve to a court. So we have repeatedly said that we absolutely acknowledge the right to, notably South Africa, to approach the court, the ICJ in that case. But it will be up to the courts to say if it is a genocide or not. And then, of course, France has been always supportive of these international legal institutions, ICJ and ICC, and we will respect whatever decision they make.
For France, recognition of Palestine is about shaping the future beyond the war in Gaza. But with Israel opposed and the region on edge, whether this bold step can deliver peace remains an open question. Phele, SABC News, Johannesburg.